Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Chadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom unto you, brothers that are out there on the highways and the byways, pushing this truth and sincerity and not for vainglory. Now, I just want to talk about the incident that took place yesterday at the Trump rally. I think it was in Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania, and there was an assassination attempt made on Donald J. Trump's life, and it also caused innocent people to get killed and put in critical condition. Right, so I believe one innocent bystander was killed, and then 2 were put in critical condition. And I think the one that got killed, he was a part of the armed forces, or a part of the Secret Service, or he was a part of law enforcement. And then Donald J. Trump, he was injured, right, from the shooting, got shot in the ear. But you have to remember that there be spirits that are created for vengeance, and that was to appease the Lord's wrath. And that shows that the Lord is not with America. He's not with Donald J. Trump. And and this place is pretty much finished. Right, this place is finished, man. And Trump is not going to make America great again. But yeah, I'm going to start off with this. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. And them spirits can be evil spirits too. Sometimes it can be angels, man. Sometimes the angels bring forth judgment. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. And that's true. And that's what you saw. You saw the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. And that's what the shooter used. And by the way, the shooter's name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. And he was 20 years old. So he was a young man. He didn't even reach his prime. But there was some information that came out about Thomas Matthew Crooks, that he was a loner and he was troubled. He was bullied a lot and he kept himself. He was a loner. He didn't really like anybody. And they're saying that that's what could have led up to the shooting, the way he was treated. But we know it's more than that. And we really can't say anything right now. We don't know if this is MK Ultra. We don't know if the elites or any type of organization was behind him that put him up to that, or if it was out of his own power, or if he came out of his own strength and power. We don't know. But what we do know in the spirit is that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is responsible for this. And this could possibly potentially lead to martial law and civil unrest. And that's a part of prophecy. And that's what we're here to let you know as the men of the Lord. And we've been talking about this, man. We told you that things like this were going to happen in the future, especially during America falling apart. The more America deteriorates, the more bad things are going to happen. You're going to see more things like this, and that's what we told you. So let's get Jeremiah 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. That's what we're telling. We're telling you that World War III is going to come. And isn't America a great kingdom? Right? Isn't America a great kingdom? Yeah. It's the world hegemon. Everybody looks up to America. Everybody wants to come to America and be like America. So America is a great kingdom, and that's what we're prophesying against. We're telling you that America is going to go down. And you know how it's going to go down? By thermonuclear destruction. And Yahushua coming in and blowing this place up. Yeah, this place is not going to last too long. And we're seeing all the signs. It's all there. And this is the main sign. I have some articles pulled up. Oh, by the way, this is the actual shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. So here's some of the headlines before I continue with the precept. It's from CNN.com. FBI identifies Trump rally shooter as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. This is from Yahoo.com. Suspect came within inches of killing Trump, but left few clues as to why. And this is from TMZ.com. Right? Trump rally shooter seen opening fire and getting killed seconds later. Let's play the clip.
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys. What are you doing? Where's that? Somebody come on. He's right there. Laying down. Oh, no. Are we in trouble? Yes.
So they killed him. But he was the shooter. So let's, I don't want to play anymore. But yeah, man. But you hear the distress and anguish in those people's voices, man. That was terrible. And the Lord is the King of terrors, right? So people were terrified, man. And that was terrible. That was terrible. But that shows you, man, that the Lord is not with Trump and his rally. He's not with America, man. He's not with those people. He's really against this place. Now, anyways, this is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about, man. Starting with the prophets and the men of the Lord from Great Millstone, GMS. That's what we're telling you. We've been saying this for years, decades upon decades. Starting with our elder apostles, right? And the ones before them that passed the torch to them in the spirit, right? But yeah, and you know, the prophets that have been before, go back to the book, go back to the Holy Bible, look at the prophets, look at Daniel, look at Jeremiah, look at Amos, look at all of them. But I'm going to name a few. Look at Jeremiah, Daniel, and Habakkuk, man. You know, those three prophets, they prophesied against Babylon. And Babylon fell. And they said a lot of things that a lot of the people didn't like. And some of the things that they prophesied about sounded strange. It sounded outlandish. It sounded impossible. But then again, it happened. They said that, hey, man, the writing is on the wall for a reason. The writing is on the wall because you're going to fall. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. And a lot of these judgments are going to pass in Babylon. You're not going to be the top king on the earth forever. You're going to fall by great violence. So that's what they said, you know, that's what the prophets did. They said things before it happened. And that's what we're telling you. Man, we've been telling you that things like this were going to happen years ago. When America deteriorates more and more and more, these things are going to happen. And we're showing you that through scripture and through current events. All right, so it says, verse 9, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath truly sent him. That's true. That's true. And that's when you're going to realize the prophet was right all along and the prophet's there. And the prophet is a prophet when things happen. And you know, when things happen, it's really too late. It's too late to apologize. That means destruction has come already. And that's going to be the case for you people that are situated over here in America and North America. Well, really around the world, but primarily North America, aka Canada and America. All right. So yeah, now let's get 1 Samuel 2 and 6, because we got to give credit to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. He did this. He did this. Actually, let me get Jeremiah I think it's Isaiah 45 and 7 first. Yeah, let's get Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. The Lord did this, man. He created darkness and created evil. All right, so this is darkness and evil. So you had a 20-year-old man, not even in his prime, taking his anger and frustration out on Trump and innocent bystanders. Well, so-called innocent bystanders, because when you go into Job 4 and 7, it says this: remember, I pray thee, whoever perished, being innocent. So these people weren't innocent. The ones that died, they died for a reason. Okay, now, but in the realm of men, in our realm, when we look at things, because, you know, we're not all-knowing and omniscient like Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We don't know what that guy did in the spirit to offend Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But when we look at it in the realm of men, we see that he broke the law and that he killed innocent people, which he has to pay for that, which he did. He lost his life, right? But remember, nobody ever perishes being innocent in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Gotta remember that. So I just thought I'd say that. But we see here, man, evil and darkness. Man, you hear the people screaming in the background, man. The women. You hear the distress and anguish in their voices. Terrified, man. That's terrible. Shots whisking across your face. That's what Donald Trump said. Bullets whisking passes through his face like choo, choo, choo. It's crazy, man. That's crazy. And he ended up taking one too. Right? Taking one. But he's still proud as hell. You know, that's not going to stop him from his campaign. He ain't going to sit back and consider, you know, maybe the Lord is not with me. And, you know, he probably doesn't even care. Because he's an Edomite, man. Pursuing to Job, the 21st chapter, man. What doth it profit to serve the Almighty? That's how these Edomites reason, man. So he doesn't care. But yeah, the shooter died. I believe a person that was in law enforcement died. And then 2 people got put into a critical state, man. They were put in critical condition. And Donald Trump, he was injured, man. He got shot. So, hey, who did this? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So I'm going to read this again. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Lord is responsible for all these things. Okay, and that goes into Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And the Lord, he made all spirits. I believe you can find that in the book of James. It says that the Lord is the father of all spirits, or the father of spirits. That's the correct way of saying it. You can go look it up yourself. So he created these spirits for his sake. And certain spirits are created to appease his wrath. All right? So that could be Satan. It could be an angel. Who knows? Angel of death, whatever you want to call it. Most likely angel of death, right? Obviously. But yeah, man, that was to appease the Lord's wrath. That was it. That was it. And this was vengeance. This was judgment. Judgment. The Lord ain't with America. He ain't with Donald Trump. All right? He ain't. He ain't. When are you people going to understand that? When are you people going to understand? Now, the Lord is laughing at this. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Yeah. And you heard the fear. You heard the fear. All right? You heard the fear of those people. Because those people aren't godly, man. They may think they are. Especially you Edomites, man. The only reason why you believe in Christianity is because Christianity is pro-white. I'm going to say it like that. Because all the images are they all look like you. And that's due to iconoclasm. So that's why you so-called believe in God, because God looks like you, and you're conditioned to think that way. You were programmed to think that way. But come to find out, now the truth is coming out, that God is a so-called black man. The saints are so-called black people of color, and they don't look like you. Right? But anyways, man, going back to my point in Proverbs 1 and 26, the Lord is laughing at your calamity, man. And he's mocking you. He's mocking your fear. And I'll just say this mainly pertains to our people. Because our people are under the covenant. We made that agreement with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We made a promise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai through the contract that we were going to serve him and be faithful unto him, no matter what. No matter what came our way. And because we weren't faithful, now we're getting judged. And that's why we're in this condition, this state that we're in today. And guess what? The Lord, through all the judgment that we receive, he's laughing at it. And rightfully so, because he warned you. He warned you in the very beginning. He warned you in the very beginning. Now, does he want it to continue on like this? No. And that's why he brought forth Yahweh Shai. And that's why we're going to get the kingdom and we're going to be changed. And we're never going to go off again. But for the most part, in your wickedness, when you get judged, the Lord is laughing at you. And that's what's happening. A lot of these people over here, they're wicked, they're evil, and they're trying to save a dying country. A dying country. Man, and it's bigger than Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump can't save America. America's too far gone. With all the debt, with all the social problems, and the world just being tired of America in general, he can't solve it. Man, look at him, man. He almost died yesterday. He almost died. Come on, man. So you need more than Donald Trump. You need Yahweh Shai. Okay, you need Yahweh Shai. That's who you need. You know why? Because Yahweh Shai, he died and he came back to life. All right? And that's why we got the victory, and that's why he got the victory. Okay? Come on, man. Get real. So, just going back, I said that this could potentially lead to civil unrest or martial law. I just want to pull up Second Ezra's 15 and 14, actually. So let me pull that up. Second Ezra's 15 and 14. I'm going to start from there. And it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Yeah, woe to the world. And woe is destruction. Yeah. This world is going to feel it. The whole world. This whole world. I'm going to say that. And the world of Israel, you're going to feel it. But the whole world, man, is going to feel the destruction and wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and they're going to know it. And them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. And that's going to happen on a grand scale, when all hell breaks loose in the near future. And by the way, what you see here is just the tip of the iceberg. Right? It's going to be magnified by 100 when America fully collapses. That's when people are going to bring out swords and take out their knives and fight against another. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. That's right. So, you know what sedition is? It's really going into civil unrest and martial law. Well, really civil unrest. You civilians going against the established authority, which is your rulers, your captains, the military, law enforcement, your MPs, your politicians, your kings and princes. I name them all. But yeah, that's sedition. Okay? That's sedition. Pretty much civil unrest and anarchy. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And he was a former king. And they didn't give a shit about this guy. That guy didn't. Thomas Matthew Crooks shot off 8 rounds. And Donald Trump, he caught one. He caught one in the ear. So he didn't care, man. Now imagine that by times 10. With so many people holding guns in their hands. Come on, that's crazy. Imagine that times 10. Imagine that. So I just wanted to bring that out. I just wanted to bring that one out. Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 46. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 46. I'm going to start from here, 46. Just some martial law, civil unrest scriptures. And it says here, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord, like as a whore envieth a right and honest and virtuous woman. God damn, man, that's mean. But that's judgment, and that's the Lord's indignation, man. It's righteous anger. And that's why it's worded that way. To prove a point and to strike a nerve, man. Okay? To strike a nerve. So yeah, man, the Lord, he's really against Babylon the Great. And all these things that I just read is gonna happen over here. Strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods and overthrow their houses. Home invasions, man. Civil unrest. People turning against their neighbor in these last days. You know, the police not being able to save you. Because, you know, you're safe. For the most part, you are safe where you are. Especially if you're in North America. You're safe. You can call the cops. Right? You have these different services that are out here for your benefit. The police, you know, the ambulance, paramedics. Right? All sorts of things to help you out. But that's not going to be the case when all hell breaks loose. You can't call the cops when a group of armed men kick your door down. There's no time to use your phone, let alone you're not going to have no phone service. Right? So what are you going to do? You have to defend yourself, or you have to be defended by Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai if you're a man of the Lord. And that's what's going to happen. The angels encampeth round about them that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai. Roughly paraphrasing. So that's going to happen, man. People's children are going to be taken captive. Little girls are going to be raped. Even little boys, because you have pedophiles out here and boogers out here. A lot of little boys are going to be popped too. Yeah, it's messed up. That's messed up. Even to think about that, man, that's messed up. Wives are going to be ravished. You know, you don't want to see that. It's disgusting, man. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And I'll say this, that happened to us, right? That happened to us when you go back into the history. Man, look at Egypt, man. Look at Egypt. You know, they oppressed us so much that it's to the point it drove us to have more babies, to multiply even more. When you go into the history of Egypt, you can go into Exodus, the 1st chapter. You saw that. The more they afflicted us, the more we multiplied, man. Right? So, but I'm speaking for the last days. You know, even then, I'm gonna use what's a good example of that? The Walking Dead, with Lori and Rick and Shane. Lori ended up having a baby in the apocalypse, man. And then she died, and the baby survived, and then Rick died, and his son died. That was terrible, man. But that showed you that. So, yeah. Anyways, just thought I'd bring that out. Now, let me get Job 4 and 7. I'll just stay in this app. Job chapter 4, verse 7. It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent. That's a question. Whoever perish being innocent. Come on, whoever. Ask yourself that question. Whoever perished being innocent? Because we're in a wicked world and we're in sinful flesh. Are you really that innocent? Because when you're put on this earth, you're serving out your sentence. Right? Your prison sentence. So are you really innocent? And the answer is no, man. You're not innocent. Not incident. Innocent. But it reminded me on Friday, the Friday that just passed, there was this little 14-year-old girl. She got hit by a drunk driver. It was right near my house, because my house is right by the intersection where she got hit. And you know, it was people were angry, man. The whole community was like outraged, and they were very angry at that drunk driver. Okay, and she was 14 years old. She had her whole so-called life ahead of her, and she was where she was actually where she was supposed to be. She was on the sidewalk. She wasn't in the road. She was walking where she was supposed to be walking. And she ended up getting clipped because this guy, you know, he was drunk. He swerved into a car, and then his car swerved off the road and hit the girl while she was walking. And the thing is, man, you know, she was walking with her friends, but she was the only one that got killed. The driver didn't get killed. The other person that got hit by the car, the other person in the car that got hit didn't get injured. But she was the only one that got killed. So that's the Lord, man. The Lord was in control of that. But even that little girl, man, as young as she wasn't innocent. The Lord took her spirit back because judgment played out where it was supposed to play out on this earth. So it reminded, you know, when I saw that, it reminded me of Job 4:7. I'm going to read it again. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Wow. You know? Yeah, man. And the righteous are going to be saved. You know, the righteous are going to be saved. You know, the Lord is going to deal with his righteous. And that really is the elect in these last days. And the elect is going to be saved. And they're going to scarcely be saved. But the Lord will not forsake and cut off the righteous, man. All right? But yeah, whoever perished being innocent, man. And that goes for what happened and took place at the Trump rally. Those people that died, including the shooter, they weren't innocent. But in the realm of men, they look innocent. But you don't know what crimes they have committed in the sight of the Lord spiritually, man. For the Lord to do that. So it is what it is. This is a serious thing, man. Hey, the Lord is a serious power, and he's a judge. And all his ways are judgment, man. All his ways are judgment. Never forget that. Never forget that. All right, so yeah, that's all I want. That's all I want. No, actually, you know what? I want Matthew 25. Matthew 25. Let me get that. I remembered Matthew 25. No, 12 and 25. Salak. 12 and 25. Going into this kingdom being divided against itself. This is a sign that America is done. Because a nation that's divided against itself it cannot stand. And that's what you're seeing. If you're gonna assassinate the former president from becoming president again, that shows you, man, that this place is not divided. Not everybody's on the same page. You know, that's not a good look, man. That isn't a good look if you're trying to assassinate a candidate. Right? That's not a good look. So not everybody likes Trump. Not everybody wants Trump to come into power. Not everybody thinks the United States is going to do well. Right? So that's going to make people move a certain way. Right? So anyways, Matthew chapter 12, verse 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And that's true. How? Democrats versus Republicans, all these political figures against one another. You people, you're divided. You're not really a nation, man, because a nation, a nation is pretty much of one consent. They're thinking the same thing. Everybody's on the same page. That's a true nation. What really America is, it's a corporation. Okay, it's a corporation. It's not really a nation, man. And you guys have states, right? And each state has their own law. Like, you guys are already divided by default, by the way you're set up. And even Canada too, right? Not all laws are the same in certain places. And that's bugged out, man. But from a political standpoint, America is divided. And we're seeing that with the attempt on Donald J. Trump's life, that assassination attempt. So this place cannot stand because it's divided against itself. So this shows you, man, that America is circling down the drain, and it's going to eventually fall. Eventually fall. That's bad, man. Shows you there's problems in this country, well, in America, that country. So with that, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Chodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS, to USC Shalom, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect, Kwame Ashala, and Abad Babal. Shalom.